2 years ago, out of the blue, a group of guys, 3 of them, that had been working on websites for customers for several years, decided to launch a little product. Now, these 3 guys had been building websites for customers, and as they were doing it, they kept coming on the same kind of challenges that we all do when we're building a website, wanting to reuse or repurpose some of their styles or templates, but also wanting to give the customer, once they deliver the site, an easy way for them to manipulate and not ruin all their work, not ruin all the investment. Because as they worked on these sites, of course, they became attached. They wanted the site to stay looking good. And if you've been in that space, you know how hard that can be. Customers who don't know what they're doing, not on purpose, make a little change and suddenly everything goes out of whack. And so they had started, while they were delivering these projects for clients, they started building a product. Now, they would end up naming it one of the most fanciful names out there in the WordPress ecosystem. And some people would say, well, that's just a ridiculous name. I mean, who names a page builder in an already contested space? Who names it Beaver Builder? There's nothing about beavers that suggest that this is a website or a WordPress or a page building solution. And yet, it didn't matter. They liked the name. I'm sure there's a backstory to it. I don't know it, and I don't need to know it. Because what they did was they rolled out a product 2 years ago, and they did something different than all the other page builders before them. I mean, most page builders, most site builders would let you paint any kind of page you wanted. A few let you save that as a template that you could repurpose. That was good news. They did that too. But they understood there was another part of the market that was also critically important, and that was the developer. That if this product was going to take off, you couldn't just serve that site owner who doesn't know anything but wants to do it on their own and tries things and tries to make it look good. They had to serve them, but they also needed to serve those designers who knew a little bit of CSS, knew how to manipulate some things, but really weren't developers. But that's where most page builders fall off. And these guys said, no, we're going to support developers. And so they created a module, an infrastructure where developers could get involved and create something. When I worked as a CTO, a crowd favorite, we built a site for Disney where we were able to create a custom module that worked exactly the way Disney needed it to. And that's fantastic. Because you give the customer the site, but you also give them the tools that let them manipulate it, but within constraints. So the site still looks good later. And it's easy to use, and it's easy to adopt. And by building a product that had on-ramps for site owners, on-ramps for designers, and on-ramps for developers, they built a product that now, 2 years later, they've just announced that over 100,000 websites were built with Beaver Builder. And they've just crossed over $1 million of earnings from that little product that started with 3 guys building some websites for clients. It's an incredible product. And it works on small sites, it works on large sites. And it works when you want to just hand over a site, and it works when you want to hand over a site and let a customer interact with it later as you walk away from it. It lets you use the modules that come with it, and it lets you build modules and build templates that people can reuse later. It's why I recommend it. It's why I think you should check it out. And it's why I say congrats to them for hitting this huge milestone.